we talk about being Native American or of mixed heritage, it's never easy. At school, it was like people would come up to me like, oh, what are you? Or like, oh, you look Asian. Or getting asked, oh, did you grow up in a teepee? Like a birthday party my friends threw where they gave me a headdress and a feathered bra and underwear, and my nickname was Polka Hotness. Really, when I began to explore conceptual art and talking about Native identity and my own family history, I started reacting to people's ideas of what it means to be Native American, beginning to ask those questions and bringing them into a visual form. We are a contemporary people, so we're not like stuck in this prehistoric view. It's just like people's perception of what Native art, fashion, and design needs to be. It needs to shift. I started knitting when I was in 4th grade. When I got into college, I was introduced to the textile program at Rhode Island School of Design, and I was originally there for architecture, but just fell in love with fiber and haven't looked back since. Art was always a part of my life. My mom is a painter and a photographer and was a dancer in her youth, and then my dad was a graphic designer and also a musician. My 4th year in college, my dad had a stroke. And it was about a year after he had the stroke that he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Losing my dad was definitely really hard, especially because my relationship with him wasn't the most stable. But his passing has influenced my next body of work in talking about grief and how it's just like a beast and everybody has like deals with it in different ways. The pattern is just 2 images of myself, blurred images, and so I cut them, one horizontally, one vertically, and wove them together, distorting the image. And just talking about how when you're dealing with anxiety and grief, how you may appear okay on the outside and there's something completely different going on the inside. And the large scale, I want it to overwhelm the viewer. I want it to be all-consuming because I feel like grief and anxiety can be all-consuming.
I think Maggie Thompson is one of the most important Native artists working today. We are so fortunate to have her in Minnesota. She combines this wonderful weaving tradition and then she applies it to her own contemporary life. We have 2 pieces of Maggie Thompson's in this show. Our first piece is Assumptions, this wonderful piece that talks about the assumptions that many people have about Native Americans, about alcoholism. In beautiful fashion, she weaves bottle caps themselves. The second piece is Family Portrait. And what Maggie has talked about, she says, this is my father and he represents over 3/4 blood quantum. This is my mother, she is white, she has no blood quantum. This is me in the middle, where do I fit? And what does that mean for me as a Native American? Maggie is starting to do some of the strongest work within the United States. You know, her technicality, her superior craftsmanship, and yet she still has this real sense of humbleness and graciousness about her. And I think that that combination brings the most kind of great contemporary Native art.
Right now I'm currently working on a body bag project, and it really sparked from the night my dad passed away. When the coroners came in, they brought in just a really plain, simple, solid color bag, And just the thought of him being slipped into that, I just really wanted a more positive send-off. And so I wanted to create a body bag as an act of like saying goodbye, or like an honor to him of creating something that is like beautiful and colorful and decorative and just like more full of life. For the body bag, I was inspired by a quilt that my mom made my dad when they were first married, and like star quilts are given as gifts, and so it's kind of like my gift to him.
So what are you working on these days?
I started the body bag project
You did?
yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like my mom and I have a really close relationship. So she was a single mother, raised me. She's amazing. Lily, the actress, is gonna wear my knitwear stuff.
At the Sundance Film Festival?
Yeah.
Megs, that's fantastic.
Just watching her and hearing her talk about her life story and how she's come out of a lot is very inspiring, and she, being an artist herself, I think has definitely played a large role. And she's just always been there. She's been like the consistent figure in my life, and I think everybody should have that. I feel like Native imagery is kind of a trend in popular culture, and going into Urban Outfitters and other stores and seeing like headdresses and feathers and thunderbirds, and just the overuse of these images kind of cheapens the culture. For my knitwear, when I'm inspired by Native imagery and patterns, I really focus on authenticity and just using high, good quality materials. I like to be transparent as an artist and talking about stuff that maybe others have a hard time talking about, and just being very blunt. Really putting an emphasis on the fact that you're never alone, and like the importance of being able to talk about it, sorting through it. It's messy, but everyone experiences that mess in their own way.